The Fire Nation capital burned against the twilight. Thousands gathered at the obsidian docks, waiting for the return of the exiled heir. On the dais sat the Fire Lord, his presence absolute. Beside him, his daughter waited, her eyes cold as forged steel. Look, the ship, it's him. The exiled prince has finally returned from the mist. 12 firebenders marched out in perfect unison, flames dancing at their fingertips, heralding the arrival of the royal blood. It's Iroh. Wait, look, the true heir is behind him. Father, the noble clans, and the war council. I have returned as promised. I have brought a gift, a hindrance to our conquest that we have hunted since the days of Roku. Behold, the Avatar. The crowd erupted in a frenzy. For the prince, this was not just a victory. It was a desperate, calculated gamble for his future. Weeks earlier, a different life. A man sat on a flickering subway, the weight of failure crushing his spirit. A truck, speeding through the rain. I tried to move, but it was too fast. Everything went black. I woke up in a metal room. This isn't my body. I am someone else. I am Zuko. Prince Zuko. It is time. Prince Zuko, General Iroh requests your presence on the deck. I'll be there shortly. The weight of a new reality pressed against him. He was Zuko now, the exiled prince searching for an impossible goal. He walked the cold metal corridors of the ship. Every step was a decision, a calculated move in a game he suddenly knew the end to. Ah, Zuko, you're finally awake. Come, join me. The sea air is quite refreshing in the morning. I just needed rest, uncle. I must have been more exhausted than I realized. Understandable. You have been carrying quite a heavy burden for some time. Searching for a ghost is no easy task. Have the crew reported anything unusual? Any leads on the Avatar? Nothing yet. Unless, of course, you have suddenly developed new ways of tracking ancient legends? Not yet, but I will. This mission, I won't repeat the same mistakes. I'll do this my way. If I want to change my fate, I need to be patient. I need to understand you, uncle. Uncle, what happens if the Avatar is found? Should I bring him back alive or defeated? The Avatar is a bridge between worlds. If the Fire Nation captured him, bring him back alive. Then I'll take him alive. I will write this story on my own terms. Zuko stood at the prow of the ship, the icy wind biting at his skin as he gazed out over the endless white horizon. I am going to capture the Avatar. This isn't just about honor anymore. It is about control. Aang's unwavering optimism and naive belief in the goodness of people is his greatest strength, but it is also his greatest weakness. He will master the elements and try to destroy the Fire Lord. I must be careful not to be dragged into his pace. My father, Fire Lord Ozai, rules with an iron fist, and my younger sister, Azula, is a natural-born manipulator and a lethal prodigy. Where do I stand in all of this? I need to understand firebending not just as a weapon, but as a true force of nature. Zuko's gaze drifted toward the center of the ship, where his uncle sat at a wooden table, steam curling from a porcelain teapot. Ah, nephew, come sit. The morning is cold, but nothing warms the soul like a fine cup of tea. What is the secret to firebending mastery? That is quite the question to start the morning, Zuko. Tell me, what do you think is the source of firebending? Emotion, passion, anger, determination. Fire is unique. It is not drawn from the world around us. It comes from within. True mastery comes from balance, not rage. Then why is my father so much stronger than me? Is my sister Azula just born with natural talent? Azula's true strength comes because she doesn't hesitate. She bends with complete confidence. That is why her fire burns blue. Fire is not a weapon, my nephew. It is an art, a dance. Do you know the original firebenders? The dragons. They didn't just breathe fire, they moved with it. Correct. Waterbenders flow like tides. Earthbenders stand like mountains. Airbenders glide with the wind. And we must dance with the flames. Zuko sat back, absorbing his words. Firebending wasn't about force, raw strength, or anger. It was about movement and control. There is much to learn, but I am finally taking the right steps. If I play this right, I will change everything. I want to test this. Then we shall test it. Begin whenever you are ready, my nephew. Zuko closed his eyes and concentrated, sinking into the inherited memories of rigid stances and endless drills. But he possessed more, knowledge of the Sun Warriors, the fluidity of dragons, and the grace of airbending. Dance with the flames. A breath in, drawing heat into his core. A breath out, and fire surged from his hands. He began to move, shattering the old rigid forms. His feet glided across the metal deck. A spin, and a crescent of flame followed. A step forward, and a sharp, controlled burst of fire ignited the air. He was completely one with the element. With a final deep breath, he unleashed a sweeping wave of fire that dissipated harmlessly into the cold air. Silence fell over the deck, his breathing steady and warm. Well, my nephew. It seems you have taken your first step toward true mastery. That felt different. It felt like freedom. Fire is not meant to be forced. It is a living energy, a gift. What inspired you to move like that? I was thinking about fire differently. It isn't something I summon, it's something I am. I want to test this, as an attack. That iceberg. Very well, my nephew. Show me. Zuko strode to the railing, grounding his stance. He didn't focus on rage. Instead, he let the fire breathe, channeling the warmth of the sun through his veins. His movements sharpened. He spun, his arms sweeping forward as an intense fire ignited, swirling in a spiral of controlled destruction. One breath, one strike. The world exploded. A deafening boom echoed as the massive iceberg shattered into a cloud of roaring steam, leaving nothing behind but the churning sea. Ho ho, now that was impressive. You are beginning to understand, Zuko. Fire is passion. It is life. Zuko stared at his hands. He felt no fatigue at all. His chi was far greater than before. Suddenly, a thunderous explosion shattered the evening stillness, vibrating beneath his feet. Zuko turned his sharp, golden eyes toward the distant horizon. A brilliant flare burned in the distance, illuminating the dark sky. Zuko recognized it instantly, the old Fire Nation ship's booby trap. Aang was finally awake. See you soon, Avatar. His lips curled into a smirk. The flames vanished, the tides of destiny were moving, and the hunt truly began. Uncle, we need to go to where the flare came from. Now. Zuko, it's probably just an animal or some old Fire Nation ship's traps triggered by the wind. No, Uncle, this is different. Please, trust me. We have to check it out. The massive Fire Nation warship tore through the ice, its powerful bow shattering the frozen ocean as it advanced like a great metal beast. A heavy metal ramp lowered, slamming against the ice. Zuko walked out with deliberate confidence, a smirk curling on his lips. My name is Zuko, firstborn son of the Fire Lord and heir the throne. Where's the Avatar? A 15-year-old warrior, Sokka, suddenly rushed forward with a roar, thrusting his spear blindly at the intruder. With an effortless sidestep, Zuko snapped the wooden shaft in half like a brittle twig, slamming his boot into the boy's chest. I admire your spirit, but your skills are as weak as your people. I should burn that toy to ashes. A powerful gust of wind blew through the village as a shadow passed overhead. The fabled Avatar had arrived. Leave them alone. You're the Avatar. You can come with me willingly, or I can burn this village to the ground. Fine, I'll go with you. Take him to the ship. As Zuko walked back, he caught one last glimpse of Katara's furious expression. Oh, he was going to enjoy breaking her spirit. Avatar Aang, huh? I guess I can't let you die on my behalf, kid. We have to do something. How could you just let him go, Sokka? He saved all of us. And you just stood there. I was securing our supplies. If we are going to rescue Aang, we need to move fast. Your destinies are no longer here in this village. Take these supplies and go find him. What if we don't use the canoe? Sokka, look. We can ride Aang's flying bison. With a sudden, powerful thrust, the giant creature lifted off from the icy water, soaring straight into the clouds. The ship is too quiet. We need to slip below the deck to find where they are holding Aang. They sneaked through the narrow, maze-like iron corridors, carefully avoiding the pacing guards. The Avatar is the key to everything. If I bring him to my father, I will prove my worth. Take that. We can't let you alert the whole ship. Quick, let's open this door. Just in time, huh, guys? I knew you would come for me. Like I told you, Aang, your friends would be coming. Now it's time to talk. Sokka lunged forward with a fierce war cry, swinging his jaw blade straight for Zuko's head, driven entirely by adrenaline. But Zuko reacted in a blink. Catching Sokka's wrist, he twisted his arm and violently shoved him backward into a metal table. Leave him alone. Her inexperience betrayed her. Zuko easily stepped aside, and the stray water splashed onto Aang and Sokka's chained hands, instantly freezing solid. Was that supposed to happen? Oh great. Just what I needed, an ice-cold handcuff. Enough. You three are my prisoners now, and you're not escaping from me anytime soon. With an ominous warning, Zuko turned on his heel, exiting the room and slamming the heavy steel door behind him, locking them in total darkness. How did he know our names? Yeah, and how did he know we were coming? Gee, thanks for the rescue, guys. Well, I told you not to worry about me. To take care of Appa for me. The bison. You're the Avatar, right? The most powerful being on the planet. Well then, why don't you get us out of here? The world has been waiting for you, Aang. 100 years. Thousands, millions of lives lost. And he's not the Avatar we expected. Outside the chamber, Zuko stood leaning against the cold metal door, his arms crossed, listening to the crushing weight of Sokka's words. Sokka is right, Aang. The world doesn't have time for your naivety, and I will make sure of it. Turning away, the Prince of the Fire Nation vanished into the dark corridor, having firmly decided the final fate of the Avatar. The morning sun rose over the ocean, casting long shadows across the polished metal dining hall of the Fire Nation warship. Prince Zuko sat in silence, staring at his teacup while his uncle, General Iroh, happily devoured his breakfast. Destiny is a funny thing, isn't it, Prince Zuko? I mean that you have done something truly remarkable, my dear nephew. You have captured the Avatar. I intend to bring the Avatar back to the Fire Nation. With him in my custody, my father will finally see my worth. And what of the other two? Your captives from the Water Tribe? I don't intend to harm them. They are leverage. Right now, the Avatar is soft and naive. I want to shape him. The Fire Nation doesn't wait for him. The world won't wait. He needs to understand reality. You remind me of your father. I am nothing like him. But a dark memory stirred within him. Before waking up in this world, he had been an ambitious man on Earth who sacrificed everything for success. He had lost everything there. But now, in the body of Prince Zuko, he had a second chance. He would seize the throne and never be powerless again. And then there was Azula, his brilliant, ruthless sister. A dark desire burned in his chest. He wanted to possess her, to conquer her entirely. Very well, but I hope, for your sake, that you remember what it is you are fighting for. I am not my father. I will take back what was stolen from me, and no one will dare stand in my way. The sun hung low, casting a golden hue over the ocean as the Fire Nation warship cut through the waves. On deck, Prince Zuko stood prepared for a fierce test of mastery. A few paces away, General Iroh, the Dragon of the West, sat calmly sipping steaming jasmine tea, watching his nephew with pride and scrutiny. With a silent signal from Iroh, the soldiers sprang into action, unleashing a fierce barrage of flames that converged on the young prince. But Zuko was not so easily defeated. With a fluid motion, he redirected the fire, forcing the elements to bend entirely to his will. With a sharp exhale, he thrust his hands outward. The fiery vortex split into sharp tendrils, blasting the soldiers backward onto the metal deck. I tried to increase the size and intensity of the counter, but my breathing got out of control. Your breathing was out of tune, and you used too much movement. Charging your attacks requires greater ki control. Right now, I can fight most benders. But to go against true masters, I need the basics to become second nature. Indeed, to reach the level of myself and Ozai, you must master the basics. The Tsufaru base is on the horizon, Prince Zuko. We should be arriving within the hour. Inform the rest of the crew to prepare for disembarking. Go. I wouldn't risk this if the ship wasn't having engine issues. Word of my capture of the Avatar will only bring competition. Indeed, the hunt for the Avatar will attract many powerful players. You must be prepared for whatever challenges lie ahead. I will be ready. I have to be. This is the next step in my journey. Remember, Zuko, true strength comes from within. Master your breath, master your movements, and you will master your destiny. The battered ship glided heavily into the port of the massive Fire Nation naval base as the sun dipped low, casting long, ominous shadows across the water. I will inform the shipmaster of the repairs we need and the extra manpower required to get us back to sea immediately. Lieutenant G, as I mentioned before, no one must know that we have the Avatar. Absolutely nobody on this island. Who is the commander of this base? This unknown military presence could prove to be highly problematic for our mission. I'm not entirely sure myself. The Fire Nation has been shuffling its officers around quite a bit lately. Prince Zuko, General Iroh. I am Lieutenant Tao. The commander has ordered me to escort you to the mansion. Quite the number of men you've gathered for a simple escort. It is fine, uncle. Should they try anything, they will die right where they stand. My apologies. This was just a precaution. There have been reports of soldiers impersonating officers. The only reason you are still breathing is because I allow it. Show me or my uncle such disrespect again, and you will forfeit your life. You show up unannounced to a military base and expect us not to take precautions? General Iroh, it's been some time. It's actually Commander Zhao now. And Prince Zuko, it's been ages. Control your men properly, Zhao. Treating royalty with such disrespect will only result in them forfeiting their lives needlessly. Enough, Zuko. Let's leave this matter as it is for now. Certainly, General Iroh. I invite you to my mansion for dinner. I trust you will join me. A little while later, the three men sat around a lavishly set dinner table. Despite the quiet murmurs of war strategy, the tension from earlier lingered heavily in the air. Suddenly, Lieutenant Tao burst into the dining room, his face completely pale as he frantically whispered a shocking report into the commander's ear. You let the Avatar escape. The Avatar is not your concern, Zhao. He is mine. You had the Avatar captured, and yet you let him go? Zuko remained eerily calm, finishing his meal and downing his drink in one swift motion before letting out a loud burp. The lieutenant followed my orders. Indeed, I had the Avatar captured, and he did escape. But that does not excuse you to use such language toward a royal, let alone the Crown Prince of the Fire Nation. You are not the Crown Prince, and you have no authority in the Fire Nation Navy. Capturing the Avatar is my destiny, and I will find him. Next time, he will not escape. Capturing the Avatar should not be left to the hands of a mama's boy who couldn't take on a slug. Agni Kai, I challenge you to a fire duel. Zuko, I recommend you take back your challenge. I refuse. I will not lose to scum like him. Suddenly, a massive ball of fire erupted from Zuko's hand, enveloping the arrogant lieutenant who had spoken out of turn. That was your last warning. Next time, I will kill you. I accept your challenge. Tomorrow at noon. What the heck was that out there? Attacking a member of the army. Those are the actions of Ozai and Azula. So what if it is? Our family has been responsible for the greatest era of bloodshed in history. My destiny is to capture the Avatar and return as the hero. I will do whatever it takes. Iroh stood in stunned silence. The boy he once knew was slipping away, replaced by someone colder, harder, and far more ruthless. The training grounds of the Fire Nation army were alive with tension. A crowd of nearly 1,000 soldiers gathered to witness an intense Agni Kai. Let us see what the banished prince can do. With sudden, explosive speed, Zhao launched the first strike, but Zuko countered instantly, matching force with calculated precision. Is that all you've got, boy? Weak. A relentless barrage of 6 massive fireballs overwhelmed the prince, sending him hurtling backward into the dirt. Struggling to his feet, Zuko looked up just in time to see an overwhelming inferno descending from the heavens. Using his agility, the young prince executed multiple flawless backflips, narrowly evading the destructive shockwave. Is this truly the best you can muster, Prince Zuko? The close combat duel raged furiously. Neither side gave an inch as fists and flames clashed in an awesome display. Propelling himself upward with rocket-like flames, Zuko unleashed a devastating blazing wheel of fire right at his foe. Our duel has come to a close, Prince Zuko. This attack is something you can never hope to dodge. With a blinding flash, a lethal bolt of lightning tore through the air, striking the young prince with absolute, deadly force. His strength utterly spent, Zuko collapsed onto the scorched ground, smoke rising slowly from his battered body as silence fell over the crowd. Zuko awoke to the heavy sensation of being buried alive. His entire body felt weighed down by an invisible, crushing force. Beside him, his uncle sat fast asleep. The exhaustion of keeping a long vigil was written plainly on the old man's face. CGGHGNYHU Kaget might oidhide of Gigsksh. What happened? Is it the Earth Kingdom? Realizing the danger had passed, the old man quickly moved forward to unwrap the tight bandages covering his nephew's face. Before a single word could be spoken, a metal cup of water laced with bitter medicinal herbs was pressed to his parched lips. I guess I lost, huh? Zhao has grown stronger since I last saw him. Only a handful of firebenders can generate lightning. You could not have known. It doesn't matter. All that matters is that he bought it. He doesn't know we still have the Avatar captured on the ship. In a fight between masters, one should not come with expectations. Those expectations can shatter in the face of true adversity. I didn't want to win. If I had defeated Zhao, his resentment would have grown. The lightning was a blessing in disguise. Going into a fight with the intention to lose is not a habit you want to cultivate, Zuko. Suddenly, a loud, insistent banging on the heavy metal door interrupted them, echoing through the small room like a gunshot. Prince Zuko, I see you're awake. The repairs to the ship are complete, and we're ready to resume our search for the Avatar. How long have I been out? The Agni Kai was yesterday, so, at most, you've been unconscious for half a day. Zuko breathed a sigh of relief. Half a day was manageable, but he couldn't afford to waste time. His body was a wreck. Ugh, what are you doing? You need to lie down and recover. Let me just sit up, uncle. Chart a course for Kyoshi Island. We must depart immediately. Why Kyoshi Island? Just trust me. Chart a course at our fastest speed. We need to move now. Understood. I will inform the crew immediately. Remember, Lieutenant G. No stops. Head straight for Kyoshi. The metal door closed with a resounding clang. The rules of this world had changed, and Zuko could no longer rely purely on his knowledge. Zhao's unexpected strength was proof. If even Zhao had grown stronger, what did that mean for monsters like Azula or Ozai? Uncle, I need you to teach me how to generate lightning. Lightning generation is an advanced technique, Zuko. It requires a calm and focused mind. It is not something to be taken lightly. I know, but I need to learn it. If I'm going to survive in this world, I need to be stronger. Very well, but understand this. Lightning generation is as much about control as it is about power. If you are not ready, it could destroy you. I understand, and I'm ready. He had more chi than the original Zuko ever did. His potential was greater. If his presence altered the world, he would simply conquer it. The naval base grew smaller on the horizon as the ship cut through the waves. Prince Zuko stood on the deck, his body still wrapped in bandages. Beside him stood his uncle, Iroh, placing a reassuring hand on his shoulder. The old man's eyes scanned his nephew's tense posture with deep concern. Uncle, now is the time. I need to speak with the Avatar. The Avatar? What could you possibly have to discuss with him? He is our prisoner, Zuko. I've spent 3 years researching him. I've studied every scroll and legend. I need to use that knowledge. And what do you intend to do with this knowledge, Zuko? What is your plan? On Kyoshi Island, there is someone I need to meet. Someone who can help me understand him. Kyoshi Island? The island is known for its warriors, not its scholars. Who could you possibly seek? Kyoshi herself. I need to speak with Avatar Kyoshi. Zuko, Avatar Kyoshi has been gone for generations. How do you expect to speak with her? There are some things I must understand. If anyone knows how I ended up here, it's the spirits. Very well. If this is the path you choose, then I will support you. But you must tread carefully. I know, uncle, but I have no other choice. This is the only way. The rules of this world had changed, but Zuko was determined to adapt. The game was far from over, and he would come out on top. Zuko limped down the narrow, dimly lit corridor of the ship, heading toward the brig alone. This was a conversation he needed to have. Well, look who decided to visit. What happened to you? Lose a fight with a cactus or something? I fought a firebending master, and I was shot by lightning. Wait, what? Why is the Fire Nation fighting amongst themselves? Because of you, Aang. Ever since Fire Lord Sozin killed off all the airbenders, we've been searching for you. Wipe that look off your face. It was actually a good thing you left that night, Aang. Otherwise, this war would have ended long ago. How do you know about Monk Gyatso? How do you know any of this? I'll explain everything to you, Aang. But only to you. For now, just calm down. As Zuko spoke of the ancient past, Aang's eyes filled with tears. The memories of a century ago came rushing back, and he began to sob quietly. I'm sorry, Aang. I really am. But the thing is, the world isn't going to wait for you to be ready. If you had died back then, the next Avatar would have been born, and this war would have lasted only 20 years. Your absence turned this into a century-long tragedy. I'm not telling you this to make you feel guilty. In fact, I'm glad you are alive. One of your past lives will explain it to you when we reach her. Aang, don't listen to him. You didn't ask for any of this. You're just a kid. Listen, buddy. Zuko's a jerk, but he's right about one thing. The world isn't going to wait. So we'll just have to get you ready faster. The midday sun hung high, its golden rays reflecting off the calm sea. Prince Zuko stood on deck, his body still wrapped in medical bandages under his robe. Kyoshi Island, a place steeped in history, a place where the Avatar once walked. You seem to know a great deal about this island, Prince Zuko. Care to share your knowledge with an old man? During the era of Avatar Kyoshi, a ruthless tyrant named Chin the Conqueror rose to power. When he demanded surrender, Kyoshi refused. She used her incredible bending to separate the peninsula, creating the island. Chin, in his arrogance, fell to his death. A remarkable tale. But why are we here, Prince Zuko? What do you hope to find on Kyoshi Island? There is a shrine to Avatar Kyoshi there. I believe I can gain insight into the Avatar's past, and perhaps even his future. Be aware, Lieutenant. A great serpent lives in these waters, a serpent that could destroy a dozen ships. Make sure the men are prepared. Yes, my prince. I will prepare the men for disembarking. The prince who was cast out, only to return stronger and wiser. If that is not destiny, then I do not know what is. Later, in his quarters, Zuko discarded his bandages. His body bore fresh purple bruises and raw burns from Zhao's lightning, but he refused to show weakness. He donned his pristine red and black uniform, adorned with gold trim. With a firm breath, he marched down into the cold, damp brig. Well, look who decided to visit. You look a bit better, Prince Zuko. Did you finally get some beauty sleep? Indeed. It's time, Aang. We've arrived on Kyoshi Island. Tell me, Zuko, how do you know about Monk Gyatso and what happened 100 years ago? You don't look 100 years old. You don't look 112 years old either, Aang. But worry not. Your questions will be answered soon. I warn you not to make things difficult. You three have been treated well, but do not mistake that for weakness. You do not want to make me angry. We never revealed our names to you, and neither did Aang. That day, how did you know our names? How did you know we would rescue him? Zuko smiled silently as guards in dark red lacquered armor bound the prisoners with heavy metal chains. The game was far from over, and he was determined to win. The ship's hull scraped against the wooden dock as it came to a halt on the quiet shoreline of Kyoshi Island. Prince Zuko was the first to disembark, his boots crunching against the gravel. Despite the pain through his body, he held himself with rigid pride. Behind him, Fire Nation soldiers filed off the ship, guarding their bound prisoners. Stay vigilant, Lieutenant. They're already here. I can't see them, but they've seen us. They're waiting in the trees. Understood, my prince. We'll keep our eyes open. We're heading straight to the village. No detours. And if anyone tries something stupid, we will burn this whole island to the ground. As they ascended the mountain path, shadowy figures darted through the dense canopy. The island's defenders were watching. The path widened, giving way to a large clearing. There, a formidable blockade stood ready at the village entrance. I am Zuko, firstborn son of the Fire Lord and heir to the throne of the Fire Nation. I am Chief Hannah, and this is Leader Akari. We welcome you, Prince Zuko, though we must ask, What is your purpose? I seek the shrine of Avatar Kyoshi. The shrine is not a place for outsiders, especially those with an army. State your intentions clearly, or you find no welcome. This is the Avatar. The rest does not concern you. Now, are you going to show me the shrine, or are we going to have a problem? You bring the Avatar in chains and speak of burning our home. Do you truly believe we will simply bow to your will, Prince Zuko? I don't expect you to bow, but I do expect you to understand the consequences of defiance. The choice is yours. Prince Zuko, we are a peaceful people, but we will not be bullied. If you seek the shrine, you will do so with respect. Very well, lead me to the shrine. And remember, I am not a patient man. The path to the shrine was open. The game was far from over, but for now, Zuko had exactly what he wanted. Only you and the Avatar may enter the village. The rest of your men will remain outside. This is not a negotiation. Kyoshi Island has stayed out of the war, and we intend to keep it that way. We will not allow soldiers in our streets. As long as everyone behaves, then Kyoshi will remain as insignificant as it always has. Lieutenant, stay here. Keep them under guard, but do not provoke the villagers. If anything happens, you will answer to me. Understood, my prince. Suki, you will keep an eye on the Fire Nation soldiers with the rest of the warriors. Do not engage unless provoked. Understood, Leader Ikari. Zuko stared at Suki, a sudden, fleeting thought of pursuing her crossing his mind, before he forced himself to focus on the heavy mission ahead. Lead the way. Keep moving, Avatar. We don't have time for your self-pity. They reached the village edge, standing before a towering 30-foot wooden statue of Avatar Kyoshi. Suddenly, a blinding energy erupted. Arrogant fool. I will not listen to what you have to say. You do not belong in this world. Damn it. What the hell, Kyoshi? I just wanted to talk. Don't make me change my mind about attacking your people. You dare threaten the Avatar? Knowing I could take your life from you at any moment? I simply wish to speak with you privately. Then you can decide. The world suddenly blurred into a chaotic swirl. When it cleared, Zuko found himself standing in a dense, cool forest, completely healed. Here we are, foreigner. Now speak. The forest around them was eerily silent, the air thick with an otherworldly energy. Victor stood before Avatar Kyoshi, his modern Armani suit starkly out of place. Kyoshi, what is going on? Who are you? And why are you dressed so oddly? My name is Victor Crane. And yeah, I know the suit looks weird. It's from where I come from. Victor Crane? That's an odd name. Where are we? Am I dead? Where's Prince Zuko? And the villagers? Calm down, Aang. They'll be fine. You're not dead. We're in the spirit world. It's not Victor Crane, it's Victor Crane. Indeed. Now, Victor Crane, explain yourself. What is going on here? And why have you brought the Avatar into this? I'm not from this world. I died there, got hit by a truck, and somehow I woke up here. In the body of Zuko. Wait, so you're saying you woke up in Prince Zuko's body? So the Zuko who's been chasing me, that was really you? Enough. Victor Crane, you will explain yourself fully. Now, no more evasions, no more half-truths. In my world, your lives, your struggles, your victories, they were all stories. I know how the war started and how it's supposed to end. But things are different now. Zhao was stronger and nearly killed me. Someone, or something, is changing the rules. I need to return to the capital with the Avatar captured to reclaim my rights as prince. I'm not your enemy, Aang. Trust him, Aang. But if he tries anything, the Avatar spirit will take care of him and send him back. With that, Aang vanished from the forest, leaving Victor and Kyoshi alone. The air between them was thick with tension. The real reason I wanted to talk to you is because of the origins of the Avatar. You mentioned the origins of the Avatar. What do you know about them? And why do you think the Avatar can help you? One of the two most powerful spirits to have ever existed is why. If it wasn't for Rava, the world wouldn't have survived. You mean Rava and Vatu, the spirits of light and darkness. Yes, search the spirit world for a disturbance, Avatar. Look for clues about whoever brought me to this world. I can look into it, but I can't guarantee results. The spirit world is vast and completely unpredictable. You know, you're quite attractive. You're a really tall woman, but I could see myself drawn to you. I have been dead for centuries, foreigner. Such physical things have long since been lost to me. Look for Ko the Face Stealer. He might know something. Suddenly, Victor snapped back into the physical world, finding himself inside the body of Prince Zuko once again. Are you two alright? Zuko noticed the young Avatar, Aang, slowly waking up nearby. The metal chains that once bound him now completely shattered on the ground. When we're here, my name is only Zuko. You're the only one who knows my true identity. Act along with it. If you say so. Now, attack them. Everything is going exactly according to plan. Aang trusts me now, and the lie about a powerful spirit pulling the strings was perfect. The air was thick with tension on Kyoshi Island as Fire Nation forces and Kyoshi warriors clashed in a fierce, uncompromising battle. You're outnumbered, Fire Nation. Surrender now, and we'll spare your men. We don't surrender, especially not to a bunch of girls playing dress-up. The duel exploded into motion. It was a spectacular clash of relentless fire-bending and fluid, lethal fan techniques. You're good, but you're not good enough. We'll see about that. All around them, the battlefield grew chaotic. Warriors used swift spinning kicks to counter the ruthless, brutal flame attacks. Meanwhile, hidden in the fray, Zuko and Aang maintained their carefully choreographed facade of a battle. Aang, I need you to back off. I'm going to end this right now. Zuko, this is getting out of hand. People are getting hurt. I know. That's why I'm going to stop it. But I need you to trust me. Enough. This ends now. The massive inferno forced everyone to a sudden halt. Warriors and soldiers alike watched the display of sheer power in absolute awe. You fought bravely, but this battle is over. The Avatar is mine, and I will burn this village to the ground if you stay in my way. The Avatar is too important. We won't let you take him without a fight. Very well. If you refuse to back down, then I'll show you just how outclassed you truly are. The air was thick with tension as Zuko stood at the center of the village, his body radiating an almost unbearable heat. The Kyoshi warriors, though battered, refused to back down, their fans raised and their eyes filled with defiance. If a Skeiner could do it, then so can I. With a deep breath, he focused all of his energy, his chi surging through his body like a raging inferno. The flames coalesced into a massive ball of fire, its size growing with each passing second. A miniature sun. This is your last chance. Surrender now, or I will reduce this island to ash. We surrender. But know this, Prince Zuko, we will never stop fighting for the Avatar. With a wave of his hand, Zuko dispersed the massive fireball, the flames dissipating into the air with a deafening roar. Let's go. We've got a long journey ahead. Aang walked a few paces behind Zuko, his wrists bound in chains to maintain the facade of captivity. Victor couldn't help but gloat to himself. I actually pulled it off. A miniature sun. Me. Unbelievable. You did well back there. Thanks for playing along. I still don't like it, but I trust you. Just don't make me regret it. They emerged from the forest onto the beach. The Fire Nation ship loomed in the distance, its dark hull a stark contrast to the bright sky. With this kind of power, I can change everything. The Fire Nation, the war, the world, it's all within my grasp. The Fire Nation ship cut steadily through the calm ocean waves under the bright afternoon sun, carrying Prince Zuko and his crew. Your appetite has certainly grown, Prince Zuko. I don't think I've ever seen you eat so much in one sitting. Ever since I started bending like that, I've been hungrier. My body's trying to replenish the energy, so I eat. Prince Zuko, a letter for you. It's the letter you dictated earlier, addressed to Fire Lord Ozai. I write to you with news of great importance. I have finally located the Avatar. He is currently in my custody. Good. Send it immediately. Fire Lord Ozai will be expecting me, and the stage will be set for my grand return. Early the next morning, the dawn sun cast a dramatic golden glow over the imposing spires of the Fire Nation Royal Palace. Absorb the nearby infantry divisions. That should provide enough men to flank their weak side. Good morning, Azula. Good morning, Father. How goes the plans for the Jita province? Sire, we have just received an urgent letter from Prince Zuko. Well, that was unexpected. Your brother has done the impossible. This can't be true. Father, you cannot possibly believe this nonsense. We will all see, Azula. Your brother will be returning, having done what I ordered him to do, proving that he is not weak. Spread word. Inform the War Council and the noble factions. Prince Zuko will return to the capital in 4 days' time, and he has brought the Avatar. What the heck is going on? My father is actually smiling because of Zuko. The air in the war room felt heavier now. The torches lining the stone walls flickered slightly, casting long shadows across the massive map table. Father, you cannot possibly believe Zuko. We have no proof. What if he's lying? We will see about that when he arrives. Zuko knows the conditions of his banishment. He would not dare attempt trickery. He knows that he would not dare attempt trickery, not when so much is at stake. And neither should you. Zuko has done the impossible. He has found and captured the Avatar. He has proven that he is not weak, but a strong and powerful firebender. As such, he will be the crown prince of the Fire Nation once more. He will be your future Fire Lord. Silence filled the room. Her father was replacing her. A mix of emotions swirled within her. Anger, disbelief, humiliation. But above all else, betrayal. Without another word, she turned on her heel and stormed out of the war room, her footsteps echoing sharply through the grand halls. When did the message from Zuko arrive? Tell me everything. The carrier bird brought it less than half an hour ago, Princess. It was delivered to the Army Communications Tower. So for 3 months, there was nothing. And now, suddenly, he has done the impossible? This is far too convenient. Princess, if you seek further details, you may have to speak with the chief at the Communications Tower. Zuko was a failure. A disgrace. He had spent years chasing ghosts, a laughingstock of the royal family. There was more to this. If Zuko thinks he can take from me what I have rightfully earned, he is sorely mistaken. I will find out the truth. The sun was high in the sky, casting a warm, golden glow over the bustling port city at the base of the Fire Nation capital, alive with soldiers and merchants. Princess Azula stepped out of her ornate carriage, her golden eyes scanning the scene with a sharp, calculating gaze. Her mind was burning with hidden resentment. Zuko, the banished prince, the absolute failure, had somehow managed to capture the Avatar? It was absurd, yet her father had accepted it. Princess Azula, what brings you to the communications tower? Inside, the tower was a hive of activity. Messengers hurried back and forth with scrolls, but everyone froze instantly at her chilling presence. Where's the chief? He's in his office, princess. I'll fetch him for you. No need. I'll see him myself. Ah, Princess Azula. To what do I owe the pleasure? I don't give a damn about your history, old man. I'm here for information. I want reports on all of Prince Zuko's movements, now. Patience, princess. The latest report says Prince Zuko came to blows with a naval base commander named Zhao. Let me guess, Zuko lost. Same week, pathetic Zuko as always. Oh, I wouldn't say that. Zhao used lightning to defeat him. In terms of pure firebending, Zuko held his own and could have won. Azula's smile faded, replaced by surprise. Zuko had not only captured the Avatar, but had also matched a powerful firebending master. It didn't make sense. I want every single report you have on Zuko's movements. Everything. As she waited for the reports, Azula's golden eyes burned with determination. She would uncover the truth and stop Zuko from taking what was rightfully hers. In the cluttered office of the communications tower, Princess Azula processed the unsettling news regarding her exiled brother. Zuko captured the Avatar and held his own against Yao? That weak, banished failure couldn't have accomplished this. Tell me, old man, why would a firebender of Zhao's high caliber be stationed in the armpit of the war? The South Pole is a frozen wasteland. Ah, that is an excellent question, princess. Commander Zhao's intense ambition is well known throughout our ranks. He was sent there to oversee the final stages of the southern province's subjugation, ensuring they posed no further threat. The Southern Water Tribe? They are a bunch of savages living in igloos. They pose absolutely no threat to our mighty empire. Perhaps not, but the Avatar was last seen in that exact region. However, it seems Zhao's mission was complicated by Prince Zuko. There is far more to this story. What exactly are you holding back from me, old man? Speak clearly. I have told you everything, princess. Zhao's firebending skills may have only recently come into full bloom. Fine, but I want every single report on Zhao's activities and Zuko's movements. Deliver everything to my quarters. Princess, one more thing. Reports indicate Prince Zuko's ship headed straight toward Kyoshi Island after his battle with Zhao. Kyoshi Island? What could that pathetic brother of mine possibly be doing in a minor outpost like that? There is a massive information gap here. Prepare two separate, highly elite teams of covert operatives immediately. One team will investigate Kyoshi Island, and the other will infiltrate the naval base. Keep this completely discreet. Azula strode out into the cool air and stepped into her waiting royal carriage, her mind blazing with malicious intent. If Zuko thinks he can take what belongs to me, he is sorely mistaken. I will uncover his secrets. The covert operatives were dispatched into the dark night. The ultimate stage was finally set, and the stakes had never been higher. The brig of Zuko's ship was cold and damp, the faint hum of the engine reverberating through the heavy metal walls. We'll be arriving in the Fire Nation capital within a few days. I thought you should know. The Fire Nation capital? What are you planning to do with us there? That's none of your concern. Just know that your cooperation will make this easier for everyone. We're not going to cooperate with you, Zuko. We'll find a way to escape before we even get there. You can try, but I wouldn't recommend it. You're outnumbered, outgunned, and out of options. So shut it. I want Katara to come with me. What? Why? Zuko signaled for the guard to unlock the cell. He reached inside and grabbed Katara's arm, pulling her out. Zuko, wait. What are you doing? If anything happens to her, Zuko, I'll sink this whole ship. I swear it. Noted. Zuko turned dryly and led Katara out of the brig, the heavy metal door clanging shut behind them. Katara followed him through the metal halls. She hesitated at his door, wondering if she should trust Aang's guidance. Don't even think about it. You wouldn't even get a few feet away. Sit. What do you want from me, Zuko? The temperature in the quarters rose drastically as Zuko's intense, fiery aura began to manifest. Sit down, Katara. We'll get to that. But first, tell me, how much do you love your brother? The ultimate threat hung heavily in the air. Sokka's fate now rested completely in Zuko's hands. What do you mean by that? Why are you asking me about my brother? I asked you a simple question. How much do you love your brother? I love my brother very much. He's the only family I have left. Well then, this makes things rather straightforward. Think about your family. Think about how Sokka is the only one left. Don't you dare talk about my family. You have no right. I have every right. Because from this moment on, you're going to be working for me. You will be my personal maid. Something will happen in the capital. To save Aang and Sokka, you'll play the role of my muse. If you don't, they will die. You're a monster. I'll never play along with this sick game of yours. You will. The world will see you as my pleasure thing. As long as you do exactly as I say, they will be safe. Fine. I'll play along. But if you hurt them, you're despicable. Maybe. But I'm your only hope. Return to the brig now. This arrangement stays strictly between us. I hate you. Katara turned on her heel and stormed out of the room, her heart pounding with a whirlwind of anger and fear. Katara, are you okay? What did you want? We need to talk. But not now, later. The weight of Zuko's demands pressed down on her. She knew that her life, and the lives of her friends, would never be the same again. The upper main deck of Zuko's ship was bathed in the warm glow of the midday sun. Zuko stood at the railing, his eyes fixed on the distant horizon. Nephew, I brought tea. I thought you might like some company. I noticed you took the Water Tribe girl out of the brig earlier. What are your intentions with her? My intentions are my own, uncle. But you don't need to worry. I know what I'm doing. Do you? The girl is not just a prisoner, Zuko. She's a person. If you're planning something, you need to be careful. What I'm doing is for the sake of everyone. You don't know the situation we're going to be walking into when we reach the capital. I need to be prepared. And what exactly did you learn from Kyoshi? You've been different since you returned from the island. What happened there? I learned that the Avatar is far more powerful than I realized. No single bender can challenge him head-on. There are things in the spirit world that make the Avatar look like a child. And one of those things has its eyes set on this world. I must warn you, no plan survives confrontation with the enemy. It took me a few tries to realize that in my youth. You must be ready to adapt. I understand, uncle. I'll keep that in mind. The capital won't be forgiving, and I cannot afford to hesitate. The threat from the spirit world, it was a lie to get them to trust me. But what if it becomes real? No matter what, I need to be ready. Lightning generation. If I can master it, I'll have an edge, something no one will expect. Especially not Azula. Especially not father. Lightning generation is not like fire bending, Prince Zuko. Fire is passion, but lightning? Lightning is pure, cold precision. Separation of energies. Positive and negative charges? First, you must feel the energy within you. Divide it. Yin and yang. The positive and the negative. You pull them apart. And then, you bring them together. In one swift motion, his hands snapped together. A blinding bolt of lightning erupted from his fingertips, streaking across the sky. Static discharge. Potential difference. It's like a goddamn capacitor. Your turn, Prince Zuko. Zuko mimicked the stance, closing his eyes to feel the divide. But when he snapped his hands forward, fire exploded in his face. No kidding. Easy for you to say. You didn't just get thrown across the deck. No, but I did set my own beard on fire the first time I tried. You are still thinking of it as fire. Lightning is the energy of the heavens. You must become its path. A circuit. Imagine myself as a wire. Separate the energy like a battery. Potential difference. Now, bring them together, but do not command it. Let it find its path. Zuko snapped his hands forward. For a fleeting instant, he felt the sharp, electric bite of true lightning. Aoag. But the energy destabilized. A violent detonation hurled him backward, slamming him hard into the metal wall of the ship. You almost had it, but you were still trying to direct it with strength. Lightning is a river flowing toward the sea. I disrupted the circuit. I have to surrender to it? Fine. One more time. Rising to his feet, Zuko faced the open dark sky. He lifted his hands to separate the charge. Do not command it. Become the conduit. Again, do not make me repeat myself. Commander, with all due respect, you've been dodging and deflecting all of our attacks. Then stop hesitating and fight me as if I were your enemy. Unless you'd rather keep losing. Flames erupted from all sides, converging on him in a relentless assault, forming a swirling maelstrom. With a sharp intake of breath, the commander spun, unleashing a terrifying counteroffensive. Boom! A devastating ring of fire exploded outward, sending the soldiers hurtling backward in defeat. Brute force alone won't win battles. If you attack without thinking, you'll burn yourselves first. Commander Zhao? An urgent report from the Fire Lord. Prince Zuko has captured the Avatar. He what? The prince had already captured the Avatar when he came to the base. He fooled us all. It explains Kyoshi Island. It was all a ruse to make it seem like he was still chasing him. That report is for those in Fire Nation waters. Not for us. Our plans must change. Inside his dimly lit office, Zhao furiously pinned a letter to his master regarding Azula. If the prince becomes the heir, then our plans for Princess Azula will have to be altered. Sealing the letter, he rushed to the private aviary and secured it to a strong messenger hawk. You will not ruin our plans, Prince Zuko. The battle is far from over. Inside the vast war chamber, the flickering glow of torches cast long shadows across the obsidian floor where the Fire Lord awaited. Father, I have something important to discuss with you. It is about my brother, Zuko. Your brother has captured the Avatar. His banishment is suspended, and he will return as a prince. Jealous? Of Zuko? No, father. I am highly suspicious. Do you truly trust that he did this entirely on his own? I do not trust either of you. I only trust power. And right now, your brother has proven himself useful. Outside, the capital burned like a jewel against the darkening sky. A massive crowd of nobles gathered at the Grand Harbor. A majestic ship cut through the mist. From its opening bow, a solemn figure stepped forward into the light. Then came the moment everyone had waited for. Prince Zuko strode down the gangway, his posture straight and resolute. Trailing just behind him was a small, mysterious figure hidden beneath a heavy fabric hood, dragged forward reluctantly. Father, nobles of the Fire Nation, as promised, I have brought the one who has evaded us for 100 years. With a swift motion, Zuko yanked the hood down, revealing the captive to the entire stunned assembly. A collective gasp rippled through the crowd. Bound in heavy metallic chains stood the last of the air nomads. You have done well, Zuko. You have brought us the key to our ultimate victory. He actually did it. But this dangerous game is far from over, brother. The echoes of triumphant cheers still lingered in the air as Prince Zuko returned to the capital, bearing the ultimate trophy. Prince Zuko, welcome home. You have proven yourself more capable than we expected. Thank you, General. Persistence can overcome even the most elusive prey. You've changed. Before, you were a boy with a title. Now, you look like a man who's fought for his place. Father, I have returned. You have done well, Zuko. You have fulfilled your mission and brought honor to the Fire Nation. And this is the Avatar. Your place here will be determined by your continued actions. Do not mistake this welcome for absolute restoration. The family reunion brought no warmth, only the immense weight of years of tension and silent betrayal. Long time, Azuzu. No welcome back hug. Don't start with me. You're disgusting. Behind his playful tone, she saw the hunger for control. It mirrored her own, and that unsettled her. Zuko, you will sit beside me tonight. Sit next to me. The game has only just begun. For over a century, the Fire Nation has waged a war of destiny. A war begun by my grandfather, Fire Lord Sozin, and carried forth by his successors. 1 week from today, Prince Zuko shall be formally named Crown Prince of the Fire Nation, my heir, and your future Fire Lord. Now a toast. I give you, for the first time in 3 years, Prince Zuko of the Fire Nation. Would you stop looking at me like that? Your gaze is incredibly irritating. I missed my little sister. And how you've grown these past 3 years. Oh, then why did he lose against Commander Zhao and Agni Kai just a few days ago? What is she talking about, Zuko? Did you truly disgrace your lineage against a mere naval officer? I never let the Avatar escape. I wanted Zhao to underestimate me, so I challenged him to an Agni Kai. I intended to lose. Zhao's victory only made him more arrogant. He stopped questioning whether the Avatar was still on my ship. He stopped seeing me as a threat. If the Avatar disappeared a century ago, why does he still look like a child? This defies all natural laws of bending. The Avatar didn't age because he was frozen. A short time before Fire Lord Sozin attacked the air temples, the Avatar ran away like a coward. His own power saved him, encased him in ice, untouched by time. He was only freed days before my arrival at the Southern Water Tribe. Across the hall, Aang stiffened in his chains. His wide eyes locked onto Zuko, his chest tightening. The prince knew too much. You learned all this without breaking him? Excellent. A relic of a bygone era, unearthed just in time to witness his people's extinction. Poetic. Aang stared at Zuko, and for the first time, he saw him truly. The prince's mask of arrogance was all a performance. The true monster in the room was Ozai. Water, earth, fire, air. Long ago, the 4 nations lived together in harmony. Then, everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked. Zuko's voice was low, almost reverent, as he recited the words to Katara. She stood in the corner of his lavish chambers, trapped in a life that wasn't hers. What am I doing here, Zuko? The banquet's over. You don't need to keep me around anymore. Remember our deal, Katara. You stay with me, and nothing happens to your brother. Are you willing to admit how much you've missed me, Azula? Well, what do we have here? Who is she? Welcome back, Prince Zuko. Sorry we couldn't greet you earlier. A girl I took from the Southern Water Tribe. Growing up at sea, a man has needs. She takes care of those. Sexual needs, Ty Lee. Azula's lips curled into a cruel sneer. But before she could utter the insult, a sharp sound echoed through the room. You dare touch royalty. Back off, Azula. Zuko's roar was a physical force. A torrent of flame exploded forward, forcing Azula to stagger back in utter shock. Father wants to go over ceremony details tomorrow in the war chamber. They're preparing to escalate operations in the Earth Kingdom. With a guttural roar, Zuko threw his head back and unleashed a torrent of fire straight upward, the flames licking the ceiling black. Thank you. Touching royalty is a death sentence, Katara. Until my rights are fully restored, my power has limits. Everything will be fine, Katara. Please, trust me when I say that. As her fingers curled into his shirt, and her silent tears dampened the fabric over his heart, Zuko realized something terrifying. He cared. And that changed everything. The first light of dawn spilled through the tall windows of Prince Zuko's chambers, painting the red walls in hues of gold and amber. I stayed in his arms all night. I should pull away. I should hate this. But I don't. I feel safe. With Zuko? The prince who hunted Aang? Zuko sat up, the sheets rustling as he swung his legs over the edge of the bed. He stretched, the scars on his bare back flexing. It's fine, Katara. I'm going to train. Talk to the palace maids for breakfast. After training, I'll bathe. Then we'll eat together. What is happening to me? The hatred feels distant now, blurred at the edges like ink in water. The training grounds were vast. Zuko stood in the center, bare-chested, his muscles taut with tension as his mind raced back to past conquests. None of them ever left me feeling like this. But Katara? A child. A water tribe peasant. Pathetic. With a snarl, he unleashed his frustration. A column of flames erupted from his fists, spiraling into the sky like a furious dragon. Fire surged from his feet as he flipped backward. Each movement was precise, fluid, less like bending and more like a majestic dance. Dozens of soldiers and servants had gathered at the edges, their eyes wide with awe at the beautiful, controlled display of fire. Slowly, he lowered himself into the lotus position, his eyes closing as he focused on his breathing. In, out. The storm in his mind stilled. High above, in the shadowed balcony of his private chambers, Fire Lord Ozai watched his son disappear inside, a slow, calculating smile curling his lips. Sit down, Katara. Eat. We will go see Aang soon. Don't look so hesitant. Look at you too, like you have never left home. Good morning, young lady. How did you sleep? You brought this girl here, Zuko. Now you bear the responsibility. Protect her from the shadows. I can protect her, uncle. I did just that last night against Azula. How was your first night back in your own bed, Zuzu? Soft enough after 3 years of ship cots? Good morning, family. It has been such a long time since I have seen you all together. And who is this? Her name is Katara. She caught my eye in the south. If she misbehaves, her brother dies in my break. Simple. Efficient. But remember, Zuko, pets bite back when provoked far enough. We will discuss this in the war room. You lied to your father. You made it sound like Sokka is already dead. What if I don't play along? If you believe what you say is true, so will everyone else. Otherwise, your brother becomes the lie. Prince Zuko, orders require all visitors to be searched before entering. Search me, but touch her, and I will melt your gauntlets to your skin. Her loyalty is mine to vouch for. The avatar cell requires dual verification. Your royal seal, and the secret password, Your Highness. The password is, let me through, or I'll have your commander flay you alive. Turn the lever now. The Fire Lord's orders. No one enters without his direct approval. My father's orders state the avatar's fate rests with me. Or would you like to explain why his heir was delayed? Katara, are you okay? Did they hurt you? They asked so many questions about the air temples, but I just meditated. They won't risk killing you yet, Aang. If you die, the cycle continues. But my father will find a way to end it permanently. Then we get him out of here right now. We can't wait any longer. You know you could have left me here and claimed your throne. What is this deal? Remember our deal, Aang. Take care of your side when you leave. Ask me again when her brother is free. As they retreated up the dark stairs, the heavy iron door clanged shut. The dangerous game within the Fire Nation Palace was far from over. Princess Azula arrived at the port's massive communications tower, its sharp obsidian spire piercing the gray, ash-filled sky. The chief is expecting me. Azula entered the cluttered top-floor office. Chief Hiroshi stood nervously beside 2 undercover operatives. Are these the leaders of the operatives? Report. Start with the naval base. Prince Zuko claimed he captured the Avatar, but let him escape. Commander Zhao confronted him, leading to an Agni Kai. Zuko wanted Zhao to underestimate him. Everything he said was a calculated truth disguised as a ruse. At Kyoshi Island, witnesses confirmed Prince Zuko arrived with the Avatar already in chains. So if he already had him, what exactly was my brother doing there? Princess Azula's agents are digging into our movements, sire. And Commander Zhao arrived at the port last night. Maintain vigilance. No one breathes a word of Kyoshi. One misstep, and this web strangles us all. Zuko entered the Imperial War Room, where a massive obsidian table glowed with a map of the Earth Kingdom. Omashu remains unconquered. My son has walked among the Earth vermin. He will provide perspective. Their Earthbenders collapse our advances. I propose a total naval blockade to starve them out. Burn their homes, and you create martyrs. You will waste entire divisions pacifying the survivors. What would you know of loyalty, Prince Zuko? You spent 3 years chasing ghosts. I found that little ghost, General. I will not stand such disrespect from you again. Turn the mountain merchant caravans. Promise passage for information. Fear and greed are sharper than fire. A strategy for a pirate. Crushing them requires force. Sacrifice a division as bait, then incinerate them. Still peddling sacrifice, Bujing? How many did you burn at Garsai? Perhaps I'll light your pyre myself. Enough. A swift strike inland forces them to split forces. Omash's defenders will be completely isolated. Secure the rivers. Coordinate the misinformation. Bujing, fail again, and your ashes will fertilize the desert. Bravo, Zuzu. Playing general suits you. But remember, father's favor is fickle. Save your theatrics for the circus, Azula. As he strode away, the weight of the coming conflict pressed heavily upon him. Omash's fall will buy time. But at what cost? Sacrifice. The word tastes like ash. The afternoon sun streamed into Zuko's chambers. Katara stood nervously, clutching a hidden note from Sokka. Yes, he didn't seem surprised. Sokka's sarcasm is a survival tactic. You, on the other hand, look like you've swallowed a live eel. Why are you being like this? What are you planning, Zuko? A faint creak echoes from the hallway. In one fluid motion, Zuko surges to his feet and lunges outside. Every word you speak here is heard. Every move, watched. My father's spies don't take breaks. When you have questions like that, whisper. Stand still. Did your sister send you to spy on me? Would I admit it if she did? You've always had terrible timing. And you've always had terrible taste. You used me. To provoke her? To send a message? You're worse than Azula. No, I'm better. If you want your brother and the Avatar to live, you'll learn the difference. I can't believe you just grabbed me. You said you wouldn't harm me. Don't mock me. A prince doesn't keep a peasant girl in his chambers for conversation. Next time I touch you, touch me back. I'd rather kiss a viper. You're a monster. Careful. Vipers bite. I'm the only thing standing between you and the real monsters. Oh, and Katara? Try practicing in the mirror. Your outrage is unconvincing. The afternoon sun filtered through the gauzy curtains of the chamber, casting fractured light over the rising tension. Lieutenant G arrived silently, gathering the written scrolls from the desk without offering a single word or greeting. You're terrible at this. Lying. At what? I was scared with your deranged sister and her venomous eyes. Every spy in this palace is waiting for me to slip. Your stiffness is a liability. Lean in, or your brother dies first. Act like my servant. Slower. You are not marching to your execution. Warmer. Try again. How may I serve you, my prince? Better. Now smile. Like you want me. I hope Azula fries you alive. Good. But louder next time. The guards have terrible hearing. Now, kiss me. Make it look like passion, or I'll make you regret finding out the difference. She pressed her lips to his, quick and venomous. But he pulled back, unimpressed, before kissing her properly. We won't stop until you convince even me. Seduce me. Use that waterbender focus of yours. Don't overdo it. You're thinking too much. Focus on the lie. Now for the last test, kiss me like you mean it. Well, it seems my son has finally learned to prioritize the nation's interests. Meet me in the gardens. I think it's about time you and I had a private conversation. He approved. Brief. You survived. Approval is poison here. Remember that. Why the fuck does nobody knock in this goddamn place? Why the fuck does nobody knock in this damn place? Remember that feeling, Katara. This is how survival looks. This training will save your life, even if it feels like it's killing you now. He released her and strode out, leaving her trembling in the silence. Her heart pounded violently, filled with confusion and guilt. Prince Zuko just left with his father. But I came to see you. The Fire Nation must feel overwhelming. Do not hide your tears, child. They are the heart's way of breathing. Like Zuko? You see him as a monster. Yes, like my nephew. Fire Lord Azulin once told me that compassion is the rarest flame. You have ignited something in him. The boy who is with you today is not the man who will kiss you tomorrow. Zuko stormed through the palace corridors, his mind a tempest. Was it an act? Or something worse? Prince Zuko, a pleasure to see you restored. This isn't good, Commander. We've made an enemy of the next Fire Lord. I have come, Father. I've simply become the son you always wanted. Better than Azula. Better? Her talent eclipses even Fire Lord Azulin's at her age. Or Su Pinyin, a madman who mastered lightning like breathing. A descendant of the Avatar Turo. Do not romanticize traitors. What are you implying? You'll entertain the idea eventually. Like I have. The Great Comet returns soon. With the Avatar in chains, we will end this war. That is your only focus. I've seen things in my exile, Father. Forces even the Avatar cannot rival. You visited the Avatar today. Why? The amber light of the setting sun sliced through the narrow, soot-stained alleys of the Fire Nation capital. Enter. Master, I've come to report. The prince's return complicates our plans. You abandoned your post. The naval base was your charge, yet you stand here sniffing at the capital's heels. Prince Zuko's resurgence threatens everything. The Fire Lord's gaze now shifts to him. With respect, Master, the prince's connection to the Avatar could unravel years of planning. His presence here is a liability. My counterpart in Omashu has already appointed a far more competent replacement. A replacement? What would you have me do? Grovel at Ozai's feet. I would have you obey. Return to the outskirts and await further instructions. What now, Commander? We wait, and we watch. The prince may have the Fire Lord's ear, but we have teeth. A shadowy figure tracked them from the alleys, before melting into a crumbling building hidden behind a rusted iron gate. Zhao met with a master behind a screen. The commander and his lieutenant were visibly terrified. I see. Well, what could this mean? The prince anticipated this. All information regarding Kyoshi Island and his miniature sun technique is to be leaked accidentally. Leak that he fought an ancient avatar? They'll think he's completely mad. Or powerful. The prince wants fear and curiosity in equal measure. Let the taverns do the work. Meet at the usual place and times. No deviations. Rin, you're with me. We report to the prince directly. How is he? Volatile. Whatever happened with the water tribe girl, it's rattled him. Choose your words carefully. Your breathing has improved, Prince Zuko. The rhythm is steadier. Less combustible. Steady breathing doesn't conjure lightning, uncle. I've been at this for days, and all I can muster is a few sparks. Patience. Even your grandfather, Fire Lord Azulin, took years to master this technique. Lightning is clarity. Balance. Azula didn't need balance. She shot fire at me like it was nothing. She was 12. Azula is a prodigy, but talent without wisdom is a wildfire. It destroys everything in its path, even the wielder. How long did it take you to learn lightning? Shorter than you. But I did so to light a campfire for a starving child. Zuko widened his stance, separating the energies, positive and negative. But instead of a clean snap, a massive blast erupted. The explosion hurled him backward, crashing violently through the outer wall in a shower of splintered wood and shattered stone. Leave us. Let them doubt. Fear and awe are two sides of the same coin. Commander Zhao met with the master behind a screen. They mentioned a replacement at the naval base, scrambling because of you. Good. Let them scramble. Keep digging. I want names. Now it all makes sense. I went to your chambers earlier. Found her crying. Alone. War demands sacrifices, nephew, but not all wounds are visible. This is war, uncle. Let me make my own mistakes. Some mistakes leave scars, even fire cannot heal. I mastered lightning after I lost my son. Anger fueled me, but grief taught me true balance. Otherwise, you will leave only ash. The words hung heavy and unyielding. Zuko pulled away, limping toward the dark palace corridors alone, leaving only scorched earth behind. The heavy silence of the room pressed in. His muscles ached from the day's training, and Katara wasn't anywhere to be found. Stepping into the spacious bathing chamber, he sank into the wooden tub. With a slow exhale, he released a controlled breath of fire, heating the water as steam rippled around him. Rumors were spreading through the taverns. His failures, the spirit world. It was a massive gamble to leak it himself to control the narrative before Azula could weaponize it. Suddenly, the door swung open. He rose quickly, wrapping a fiery red towel around his waist, dripping onto the cold stone floor. What do you want, Azula? Can't a sister just see her brother? We are family, Zuko. Don't say that. I heard the commander who defeated you arrived last night. The whole capital is buzzing about your little performance. Are you going to challenge him again? For real this time? You want to see if I can beat him when I'm not holding back. What do I get in return for this little plan of yours, Azula? For the first time, her composure cracked. A flush crept up her neck, her pulse visible at her throat as she stuttered. What do you want? Well, look who finally decided to show up. You're dismissed, servant. Unless my brother enjoys an audience? She stays. She answers to me, not you. You were leaving. Think about my proposal, Zuzu. Careful, peasant. My brother's tastes are particular. Where were you? What matters is that you left without telling me. Your primary goal is to be playing the part of my arm candy. I went down to the servants' quarters. If I'm supposed to be your maid, I can't just hide in your room all day. You don't wander this palace unsupervised, Katara. You don't make moves without me knowing. I cannot make contingencies if I don't know where you are. You want me to play this role, but you don't trust me. Which is it, Zuko? Am I your pawn or your pet? You're both. That's what you are. Get some rest. We will be leaving soon. I guess that explains that. Outside, the sun dipped below the horizon, casting the Fire Nation capital in deep crimson shadows. Tomorrow would come, and with it, the dangerous game would continue. Zuko returned to his chambers just as the sun vanished, sealing away the murmurs of the palace. Katara sat rigid by the balcony. We're dining with my father in 10 minutes. What? You're joking. The Fire Lord, along with half the noble council and 3 generals. Consider it your first real test. Do I look like I'm joking? Remember your training. Every word, every glance, they'll be watching. Especially Azula. I know how to behave. Do you? Because last time you nearly slapped my sister. In there, you're nothing. A servant. A pet. You don't speak unless spoken to. And what if they ask me something directly? What if your father decides to? Answer in 3 words or less. Bow. And look at me before you speak. One misstep, and I won't be able to protect you. The unspoken threat hung between them. Her brother, the Avatar, their lives are the cost. Fine. What do you want me to wear? Tonight, you'll wear what the servants wear. And you'll stand behind my chair like you belong there. This is the start of the real game. The grand ballroom was a spectacle of gilded decadence. At the head of the obsidian table sat Fire Lord Ozai, flanked by Azula and Iroh. Zuko sat amidst the tension. Behind his chair stood Katara, rigid in her borrowed, simple charcoal servant robes. To my son's return. May his lessons in exile serve the Fire Nation well. Tell us, Prince Zuko, what wisdom did you gather? Beyond, of course, collecting souvenirs? I learned that young and hot-blooded men have needs that other men cannot take care of. And so we need our collection of souvenirs. Preposterous. There are other important things. And what of your companion, Prince Zuko? Surely she isn't here for her political insights. Katara? Yes, she's here for some of those needs. Though she could teach us a thing or two about resilience. The Water Tribe winters are unforgiving. The implied insult hung in the air, mocking the spoiled court. Oh, don't be modest, Zuzu. Tell them how you really caught her. Was it before or after you burned her village? Careful, Azula. You're starting to sound jealous. Enough. My son has earned his pleasures. Though, Zuko, one wonders why you bother with a peasant when the Fire Nation has finer stock. Perhaps we should discuss the upcoming Comet Festival, brother. Yes, a celebration and an end to this war. I look forward to it. Behind him, Katara stared at the floor, her heart pounding in the suffocating silence. The dangerous game was far from over. Prince Zuko, there's a rather fascinating rumor spreading through the lower rings of the capital about your time on Kyoshi Island. Care to enlighten us? Rumors are like smoke, Lord Shino. They shift with the wind. Yes, do enlighten us. They claim Avatar Kyoshi possessed the boy, dragged Prince Zuko into the spirit world, and nearly left him there. It's exaggerated. But yes, Kyoshi showed up. I barely made it back, but I learned a few things along the way. If this new firebending is as impressive as you claim, brother, why not show it off against a worthy opponent? Someone like Commander Zhao? The same Commander Zhao who defeated you in an Agni Kai mere days ago? I needed Zhao to believe he'd bested me. It kept him from interfering with my mission. Then surely you'd have no qualms facing him again now, properly, this time. Another Agni Kai would make for a splendid demonstration. What's in it for me? Enough. Azula raises a fair point. A display of strength would solidify your standing. You're all so eager to see me dance on command. Tell me, Azula, what do you risk here? Or is this just another game to humiliate me? Don't. This is what she wants. Zuko, please think this through carefully. We will discuss terms after the demonstration. Prepare yourself, Zuko. The arena awaits at dawn. Careful, Azula. You keep poking dragons. Eventually, you are burned alive. The heavy oak door to Zuko's chambers slammed shut. Alone in the sparse room, his absolute fury exploded into a torrent of blue-white fire. You're going to set the palace on fire. Would that be so bad? Well, I think they bought that, don't you? The rage. The trembling. The pathetic loss of control. You were faking it? But why? Because secrets are weapons. And I intend to wield mine. Get some rest. Dawn's going to be interesting. And what happens after the Agni Kai? If you win? Then I rewrite the rules. The report came in, sir. Another Earth Kingdom village reduced to cinders. You'll have your own fleet soon, Commander. Fleets are for men who seek power. I am so glad that is the kind of person I am. A sudden, heavy knock echoed through the room. The door opened, revealing an imposing emissary. Commander Zhao. Orders from the Fire Lord. An Agni Kai, at dawn tomorrow against Prince Zuko? Attendance is mandatory. But you already humiliated the prince. What's the point of this rematch? The Fire Lord expects your compliance. Prepare thoroughly. The prince has gotten immensely powerful. Tell His Majesty I will attend the battle. That spoiled brat thinks he can outmaneuver me? I'll carve him apart. Ozai will have no choice but to name me his successor. Dawn painted the capital arena in hues of blood and gold. The amphitheater of black volcanic stone thrummed with 1,000 nobles. Why are you spacing out, Prince Zuko? The last time he was here, his father demanded an Agni Kai. Zuko refused to fight. This time, he intends to win. This time, I intend to win. He's never seen this. Begin. Zhao moved first. A whip crack of orange flame erupted from his fist, streaking towards Zuko's chest. The battle began with a brutal arc of fire. Still running, Prince? Is this you not holding back? If it is, I am very disappointed. You talk too much. Zuko shifted tactics, firing needle-thin jets of flame. Zhao's composure cracked, and he summoned a swirling vortex of fire. Come on, Zhao. Let's finish this. The arena air crackled, thick with ash and the acrid tang of burnt ozone as the fierce rematch reached its climax. Getting tired, Prince? Your flame is growing weak. Instead of backing away, the young prince did something impossible. He caught the burning projectile with his bare hands. Take it back. This is my true power. The massive golden projectile slammed heavily into the commander's chest plate, sending him skidding backward into the sand. Impossible. How can a mere boy overpower my ultimate defense? High above the arena floor, the royal spectators watched the unexpected shift in momentum with tense fascination. You thought you knew my strength, Zhao. But this is me not holding back anymore. Cornered and desperate, the commander resorted to an advanced, forbidden technique. Sparks of pure lightning began to crackle. In the VIP stands, the true masters recognized the ancient form. A dangerous dance of total redirection. The blinding, jagged spear of lightning struck. Guided smoothly along the curve of his spine, he held the storm. Begone. This match is officially over. Silence fell like a heavy blanket over the Colosseum as the defeated commander crumpled to the sand, motionless. The arena's sand still smoldered in patches. Zuko stood at the center, blood dripping from his split lip onto his scorched tunic, refusing to slump. Nephew, how did you learn to redirect lightning? Waterbending scrolls. I studied their forms. The way they redirect energy. Impressive, Prince Zuko. Your mastery over fire has certainly taken you beyond the upper echelons of our ranks. Liar. Uncle's been tutoring you in secret, hasn't he? All those cozy tea sessions. In my mind, there is no doubt you are worthy as my successor. Thank you, father. You're still a monster. Good. Monsters survive. The bath attached to Zuko's chambers was a space of black marble and steam. Zuko sat submerged to his shoulders, water rippling faintly red around his raw burns. Your shoulder. It needs cleaning. Why did you study waterbending scrolls? They were available. Why do you care? You think this is some grand redemption tale? I studied waterbending because it's the opposite of everything I was taught. Fire is destruction. Water is change. Adaptation. So you stole our techniques. Turned them into weapons for your survival. You had a choice. You chose to hunt Aang, to burn villages, to chain me. And what would you have done if your father told you your honor depended on catching one boy? You've never knelt in a throne room, begging for mercy you know won't come. You're right, I haven't. Why didn't you kill Zhao when you redirected the lightning? Killing him, it wouldn't have fixed anything. You're different from before. You don't yell as much. Not at you. Will you teach me? The lightning redirection, the waterbending parts. It's not something I can explain. It's a feeling, like holding a river in your hands. You don't control it. You trust it. That's the worst lesson I've ever heard. Obviously,